Eala set for WTA rankings blow after disappointing Qatar Open defeat. Eala would have been brimming with confidence ahead of the Qatar Open, but her hopes of a strong run were dampened with an opening round defeat. The Filipina impressed during her quarterfinal showing at the Abu Dhabi Open last week, reaching the last 8 of the WTA 500 event. However, despite a strong run to start her Middle East swing, Eala was unable to build on that momentum in Doha, falling to rising star Teresa Valentova. Teen star Valentova had beaten Eala at the Japan Open in Osaka last October and again triumphed against the Filipina in their second meeting, edging a tight first set before easing to a 7-6, 6, 6-1 victory. Valentova will now have the opportunity to test herself against compatriot and 14th seed Karolina Muchova in round 2, with Eala's tournament now over. Defeat for Eala arguably stalls her momentum from Abu Dhabi and means that her WTA ranking will now be affected. What prize money and ranking points did Eala earn? Big prize money is on offer at the Qatar Open this year, with the eventual women's singles champions set to take home an impressive $665,000 for their victory. However, after losing in the opening round, Eala will earn just $18,300 for her campaign at the opening WTA 1000 event of the year. This year's champion will also be boosted significantly in the WTA rankings, with a staggering 1,000 points on offer. For her round 1 exit, Eala is in line to earn just 10 ranking points. The Filipina moved up 5 places to a new career high of world number 40 in this week's WTA rankings, though is already guaranteed to drop places in next week's update. As it stands, Eala is already down 2 places to world number 42 in the WTA live rankings, with lots of potential movement possible until the Qatar Open concludes on Saturday. One player leaping ahead of Eala is Valentova, with the 18-year-old provisionally up 9 places to a new career high of world number 39 in the WTA live rankings following her victory over the Filipina on Monday. Also leapfrogging Eala is Diana Yastremska, with the Ukrainian up 2 places to world number 40 in the WTA live rankings, following a 3-set win over Kristina Buxa to start her Qatar Open campaign. Across the rest of the week, it is possible that Eala could drop further in the WTA live rankings ahead of next Monday. Want more from Tennis 365? Add us as a preferred source on Google to your favorites list for tennis coverage you can trust. Eala, the setback that might shape her season. In the world of professional tennis, few stories in recent years have captured both the attention and the pride of a nation like the rise of Alexandra Eala. At just 20 years old, this young Filipina tennis star has become a defining figure in her country's sporting history, a trailblazer breaking into arenas once dominated by athletes from traditional tennis powerhouses. But sport, like life, rarely follows a perfectly linear path. Moments of breakthrough can be swiftly followed by moments of adversity. And that is precisely the drama unfolding for Eala following her early exit at the Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha, a result that threatens to inflict a notable setback on her WTA rankings aspirations. Rise and breakthrough, setting the stage. To understand the significance of this defeat, one must appreciate how far Eala's journey has already progressed. The 2026 season has, until recently, been a career-best campaign for the Filipina. Eala began the year with solid performances in hard-court tournaments across the globe. She reached the semi-finals of the ASB Classic and competed fiercely in the Australian Open, showcasing flashes of brilliance even in defeat. Her home fans welcomed her with open arms at the Philippine Women's Open, where, despite an upset loss in the quarterfinals, she spoke passionately about the encouragement of her supporters and the learning opportunities of competition. It was at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, a significant WTA 500 event, that Eala truly cemented her upward trajectory. With gritty determination, she reached the quarterfinals, an achievement that secured her a new career-high ranking of world number 40. This milestone was historic for a Filipina athlete and a testament to her growing presence on the tour. Such progress, however, also raises expectations, both external and internal, as Eala ventured into WTA 1000 competition, the elite tier where ranking points and prestige are amplified. The Qatar Open letdown. The Qatar Open in Doha, a WTA 1000 event offering a rich haul of ranking points and global attention, presented both an opportunity and a challenge for Eala. Drawn against 18-year-old Czech rising star Tereza Valentova in the round of 64, she was poised to build on the momentum gathered in Abu Dhabi and potentially further elevate her ranking and confidence. But sport can hinge on fine margins. In a match that began with promise, Eala leading late in a tightly contested first set, the momentum shifted. Valentova edged out a win in the tiebreak before asserting control in the second set, ultimately sealing a straight sets victory, 7-6, 6-1. Eala's inconsistencies, particularly on serve, were exposed over the course of the match. It was a result that, on the surface, looked disappointing. But the deeper implications go beyond just a scoreline. Ranking reality, the WTA's harsh arithmetic. Tennis rankings are unforgiving. The WTA operates on a rolling 52-week system. Players accumulate points from tournament results over the past year, with older points dropping off as new results are added. Successive disappointing results, especially at high-value events like WTA 1000 tournaments, can lead to sudden and steep changes in a player's ranking trajectory. Eala's Doha defeat comes at a particularly sensitive time. Not only does it mean missing out on precious ranking points, but it interrupts her momentum during a crucial stretch of the WTA calendar, where defenders and challengers alike jostle for position ahead of events like Indian Wells, Miami, and the clay court season. Although she attained a career-best ranking earlier this week, that position is now under threat, potentially making room for rivals who capitalized on their own Doha performances. In fact, Valentova herself climbed into the top 40, leapfrogging Eala in the provisional rankings after her win. Losses like this, particularly when they come without deep runs to offset points from the previous year, can result in a ranking slide. For a player in Eala's position, one still consolidating her place among the upper echelons, such a drop isn't catastrophic, but it is significant. More than numbers, the psychological toll. Rankings tell one story, the athlete's internal narrative often tells another. For Eala, the defeat is undoubtedly a sting. Emerging from a sport that demands relentless consistency and mental resilience, every early exit is a test not only of skill but of confidence. After all, competing at the highest levels requires players to harness both their technical prowess and psychological edge. Facing a rising peer like Valentova, herself a talented teenager with ambition and belief, added another layer of complexity. It pitted two forces of youthful energy against each other. One established enough to be a top 4-0 player and one surging and unafraid to battle. And in this case, the balance tilted in Valentova's favor. Yet professionals learn as much from loss as from victory. The experience, while disappointing, may offer Eala